Hey kids, Flexing Teacher Weber here. In our previous video, we learned where pi came from, what pi is. We learned the parts of a circle, and we developed a math equation for calculating the circumference or the perimeter of the circle. We learned that the equation to calculate circumference is circumference equals pi times diameter, and that can be abbreviated as capital C equals the symbol for pi times diameter. C equals pi times d. So what we're going to do in this video now is we're going to actually do some calculations, calculating the circumference of each circle. So let's take a look at number one. Now all we need to know to calculate the circumference of a circle is the diameter or the radius. In this case, we are given that the diameter of this circle is 7. So we will say the d on this one is 7 centimeters. And then we just use our math equation, C equals pi times diameter, to get the circumference. And remember, when I'm talking about the circumference, I'm talking about the distance around, right? That's the circumference. So we'll substitute in our values for C. C equals the symbol for pi, so that's 3.14 multiplied by 7, which is the diameter. And when we work that out, we get that the circumference of the circle is 21.98 centimeters. It's not centimeters squared because remember, this is just a distance. It's a distance around the circle. It's just that simple, my friends. Let's do a couple more. Now in number 2, we're given a circle. We want to know the circumference. We're given the diameter of the circle. The diameter is 6 centimeters. So we use our math equation to calculate circumference. C equals pi times diameter. We substitute in our values, 3.14 times 6. And when we work that out, we get that the circumference of this circle is 18.84 centimeters. That's all you do, my friends. Once you develop that math equation, it's really simple. Let's do one more like this, and then we'll do a couple different ones. So number 3, you're given a circle. If you want to know the circumference, the distance around, you need to know the diameter. Well, in this case, we're given the diameter again. Again, the diameter of this circle is 5 meters. D equals 5 meters. So use your math equation. C equals pi times d. C equals 3.14 times 5. So we'll work that out. And you get circumference of the circle is 15.7 meters. Now let's look at something a touch different than this now. Look at number 4. In number 4, we want to know the circumference of the circle, the distance around, but this time we are not given the diameter, we are given the radius of the circle, right? We are given R. R is 2 centimeters. Now remember, radius is half the diameter. So if this distance is 2, from here to here would also be 2, and so that entire distance would be 4 centimeters. We need to know the diameter to calculate the circumference because the math equation for circumference is C equals pi times diameter. So we would substitute in our values now, 3.14 times 4. And when we work that out, we get that the circumference of this circle is 12 and 56/100 centimeters. So if you're given the radius to calculate the diameter of the circle, you must double that radius, and then you can calculate circumference by using your math equation. Let's look at one last question. So number 5. We want to know the circumference of this circle. We are given the radius. We need to know the diameter. Well, if that distance is 5.5, this distance is 5.5 meters. I went a little long there. I better erase that. There we go. And so that means the diameter of this circle is 5.5 doubled, which is 11 meters. And now I can calculate my circumference. Circumference equals pi times diameter. Circumference equals 3.14 times 11. Circumference equals. When we do that calculation, we get the circumference of this circle is 34 and 54/100 meters. That is the distance around this circle. We call that the circumference. Now, that's something you might have learned in grade 7, you might not have, but now you know it, and it'll help you with your assignment today. And then that will lead us to calculating the surface area of cylinders, because cylinders have circles on them. I hope that helps. That's all for now. Flexing Teacher Weber, out.